Welcome to another episode of Geek-men and the Masters of the Thunder Nerds. I'm Dustin.
I'm Kumara.
And I'm Zombie, and this is ADHD Theater.
How are we all doing tonight?
I always have to do that. You know that.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Oh,
Mom
I'm
checks in and
tired.
says, hey, y'all, ready for a good show?
Maybe.
And Road Pig John says, Thundercats, ho! That's right.
Food Pig John.
Yeah. I'm excited. Speaking of Road Pig John, we're getting Brian Flynn back on the show. I believe the 17th. I don't know. I could be losing my mind. I've had to juggle so many numbers in the last few days. It's hard to tell what's what. I think that's what I said.
Hard.
And we have another interview on the 3rd, so we're just stacking them up apparently. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So
Most people collect things. We collect interviews
yeah,
And things.
and
yeah,
death.
and things, you know. But speaking of, how about did you get anything in the box?
I was wondering where this was gonna go. How you were gonna lead into this? Okay, so yeah, you sent me something, smartass. Well, typically we don't do this on Friday though. So when
I
you said,
know.
"Yeah, open it on Friday," I'm like, "Really, Friday?"
There's a reason for that, and you'll
Okay.
see as you open it.
All right, well, let me get my trusty lap board so I don't slice my legs open trying to open this thing. We need like game show music or something to play when we're opening up something. No, not that. Anything but that. Did you know we as a society butchered that song? Like we made it so synonymous with like circus and clowns. It was actually created for like gladiatorial introduction.
Oh,
What?
Yeah, serious. Look it up. It's crazy. It's like really? Like I can't see gladiators coming into the arena. That's
are you
like,
not entertained?
that's some Benny Hill shit, you know? Oh, what is this now? It says, Zombie, you said score. Rocky can come live with your critters. Here he is, your new pet, Rocky the flying squirrel. Mama Pam! Oh my god! What in the world?
You did not send him the squirrel.
It is totally a flying squirrel. That is fantastic. I love him.
Well, and
That is
as you
crazy.
know, my mom only watches the Friday shows, so that's
Oh.
why you're opening it on Friday.
Yeah, there we go.
I wondered where the squirrel went.
I love him. That's funny. Thank you.
So that's funny. But okay, so Road Pig John. As of now, it's live. That may change. I'm hoping it won't, but we'll see. I guess it depends on if he is like, yeah, I shouldn't have said that. Let's take this down, But as of right now, it's live, and he is going to be joining us 10:30 Monday the 17th, I believe I said.
So yeah, to answer that question, yes, it will be broadcast live. So be sure to tune in Monday on the 17th to catch anything that he might slip up and say that we have to edit out later.
Right.
I mean, come on, that's incentive to watch in
PM.
itself.
10:30 p.m. is our Monday night show. And Mom says, Rocky looks good on your shoulder.
That's totally where I would put one if he was real. Hey, here, hang out during the show. He'd be all like trying to dig in my hair and shit, making nests. Like, would you stop?
Oh, good times. So yeah, let me just double check that. Let's see if I can find it. Yep, here we go. Looking at the schedule. 17. Let's see. Yeah. Podcast featuring Brian Flynn on the 17th. And then on the 3rd is the Nameless Toy Company on Instagram. I don't think that's
who are they?
That's they're the person I contacted. It's under the Nameless Toy Company, but they are more. They're recently in.
Why don't they have a name?
No, I mean that is the name. Stop confusing me. Oh, but yeah, so this is you suck. But yeah, so if you look at their profile, you'll see that they are doing a Kickstarter on March 1st, and this is very much zombie type stuff. If you look at some of the stuff they're doing, why don't I just do this?
Yeah, zombies in space. There you go.
Yeah,
that's what you can expect.
Share.
I need a power.
Yeah, so here we go. Oh, I have to do the hit thing, and then I have to do this at this stage. So there you go. So yeah, it's stuff like this and all kinds of good stuff. And just looking at they're like sort of a mix of G.I. Joe, sort of a just awesome stuff. Like they look really nice, and something. Oh, you get the little zombified flesh over here, the leg, missing leg. Oh, it looks so cool. So I had to reach out to them. I'm like, dude, we need to talk. And yeah, so I'm excited about that. Stop sharing there.
Get to pick their brains.
Yeah.
Rocky's moving. Rocky, he moved.
Howdy, Pops. Says, great. A lot of questions to ask for Silverhawks and Thundercats. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in all the Thundercats talk because, man, I don't know. You've seen the Toy Collector magazine and what they're previewing on that wave 13, which I can't even order wave 12, and it's breaking my heart. It sucks, but yeah. Anyway, what are you watching? Anything new?
I watched.
Gary would normally insert what he's watching, but
I watched the new Wolfman movie.
Okay.
Last night, just to kind of test out a new system I was installing, and it worked. Sorta. No, it was an interesting movie. It was better than I expected it to be. Not great, nothing to like write home about or whatever, but it was a fun watch.
All right. Nice. That's interesting. I know, Kumara, you're probably not watching anything other than what we watch during the week, right?
Customers.
Yeah. Yeah, I meant other than that. you like digging into the drama of, people getting arrested and stuff like that. You're all about that kind of nonsense. I'm just like, okay, you're getting arrested. All right, bye. Out of here. I don't have time to deal with you.
That was fun.
But yeah, so I watched a show called, it's a limited series called The Madness. And
The Madness Network. Hey.
the first episode was really interesting. And it's like, oh, cool. I can't wait to see where this goes. And then it just sort of trailed off from there. And you're thinking, oh, we're going to get an awesome ending because it's building up this while, and you're watching on these episodes, and then it gets to the last episode and nothing happens, and he just he didn't die, but he's just existing, it's like, so I was really frustrated with that, and I don't recommend you waste your time on it. I can't recommend that at all. But if you don't have anything to watch and just want to see what I'm talking about, watch the first episode and then the second episode. Because, just watch it and then you decide for yourself. You can decide at what stage you get disappointed with it and turn it off. Because I watched it all the way through thinking, okay, great. This is great. This is great. This is great. It's like, okay, this is really interesting. I wonder where this is going to go. Nothing. But I also watched Territory with Robert Taylor. And oh, man, I enjoyed that show. And that is, Robert Taylor is my favorite. Longmire, all that kind of stuff. So this is the Australian, it's like a mix of Yellowstone and all that kind of stuff. And it's an Australian like cattle farm empire, and he's the head of this empire cattle farm, which is like John Dutton. He's the equivalent to John Dutton. Okay. And he's managing this stuff, and it's just interesting and chaotic, and I hope we're gonna get a season 2, because where it ended is just like, it ended right when it's like, oh man, this person did this bad thing to him and his family. Certainly things are going to hit the fan. And then boom, it ends with that cliffhanger. And it's just like, what? No. So it's like, it's a good wrapping point. So like, if they never get a season 2, it's just like, he found out what this person did, and you can imagine the retribution that's going to stem from that. Or it'll just roll into season 2 and we get to see it unfold. So it's one of those good and bad at the same time. It was pretty exciting. But yeah, so other than that, we're just watching the usual programming. High Potential, Will Trent, Rookie, stuff like that. We're watching this half-hour sitcom called Going Dutch.
That's it. I couldn't remember the name.
Yeah, and it's interesting because like this general's getting taken down a couple pegs, and he's like relegated to the absolute worst military base in the world. And it's just like, he's looking around. He's like, where's this? Why don't we have tanks? Where's this? Why don't we have this? And
why is he fat and have long hair?
Yeah. And people have long hair, totally out of regulation and stuff like that. And he's just like, you're not in shape. And he's trying to like whip him into shape and stuff like that, or that's what his gut is telling him to do. And meanwhile, he has his daughter is stationed there, and so it's an interesting dynamic, but it's pretty funny. And then we're also watching, what is that show? Shifting Gears. Anyway, that's a Tim Allen and whatnot, and it's pretty funny. So, what's her name? Kat Denning. Yeah. So she's in it, and Tim Allen. It's pretty funny. It's just like a normal like home improvement style, like,
Yeah.
hey,
He
let's
finally gets the garage of his dream.
yeah, it's like it's like a comfort TV show. Like, oh, let's just turn this off. We get some laughs and all that, and it's just one of those shows that is like synonymous with evening TV where you just sit down and unplug and just watch something that's just fun. So it's interesting like that. So, but yeah. So, anything else we want to say?
No.
No. All right. Well, let's dive into these movies. What do you want to start with?
Abigail.
All right. What did you think about Abigail?
Awesome.
Awesome. Okay. Do you want to give a synopsis?
Eric's good at that.
Let's see. How okay.
I don't want to give it away.
Well, it's already given
right.
away. It was given away in the trailer.
It's kind of like, okay, so the little girl's vampire, but people that are kidnapping her don't know it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the premise of the whole movie.
Right. They
Smart.
kidnap a little 12-year-old girl, and they're like, "Oh, you're just a little 12-year-old girl. I thought you were just a regular 12-year-old girl." But so it's like, "Oh, so it was fine when I was just a regular 12-year-old girl, but because I'm a vampire, you have a problem with it now?" Like, so it's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you can just imagine the hijinks that happen.
Yeah.
Throughout the movie because of that. So, I kind of found it a little predictable, to be honest. There were a couple things in it I didn't really see coming. We'll get into that a little bit later, I'm sure. But no, it's set up. There's these groups of organized people, and you can tell like they're after somebody, and then it ends up being the little girl or whatever, and they go into her home. Of course, she's from a wealthy family or whatever. They go into her home and abduct her.
Yeah.
They tie her up. They blindfold her. They're not using their real names. They end up bringing her to what looks like from the outside an abandoned mansion.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part that kind of stuck out like a sore thumb to me is, the gates and everything were working, but when they rolled up to it, like there's a bunch of overgrowth and, all the lights are on, none of the windows are broken. It's like, I don't know. Something's not right here. They go in, and the mastermind behind the whole abduction plan tells them, all right, well, you got to give me your phones, and everybody's, well, what do we call each other, and he assigns like, silly names based on their looks and persona and everything. He takes their phones, and I'm like, that's a big red flag.
Right.
Because it's either there's no cell service, nobody can call, or nobody, the phones are broken. No, it's just, give me the phones,
Right.
And, slowly they start to realize, hey, something's not right here. They start looking into these strange noises and everything. And, pretty soon one of them comes up dead, and then they all start freaking out, and they're like, all right, nope, something's wrong, we got to get out. And they open the door, and they can't get out. It's like locked. It's like a cage, and then shutters come down over the windows. It's like a bomb shelter all of a sudden. And it's like, yeah, okay, I can see what's happened here. Y'all didn't kidnap a little girl. Y'all fell for a trap.
Yeah.
I did not think that at all.
Yeah, like
what were you thinking? What was going through your mind?
Like, what the heck do they want with the dad? Like, why? I mean, I get they get $8 million a piece, but
yeah, that was the deal.
Yeah.
All they had to do was watch this girl for 24 hours, and then hopefully the dad would agree to giving them $8 million. I'm not sure where they came up with that, but it was
funny that she planned it the whole time.
yeah. I thought it was awesome.
It was very similar in a way to the other movie that we watched. What was the name of that one? We just watched it like a couple of weeks ago or something, where they had hand selected all these people because they like did these these rich CEOs wrong or whatever. It was the same situation. Hunted, yeah, okay. So it was the same situation. Everybody that was on that specialized team was selected because in some way or another they did this rich family wrong that just so happened to be, rich and powerful vampires.
Yeah.
So that was the whole reason why each of them were brought together with this scheme of kidnapping for, millions of dollars or whatever. But you had like the typical like hacker computer programmer, you've got, the one
muscle.
The muscle, you got the driver, you got one of them, was like a detective or whatever, or ex-detective, and so you had another guy. He was a military background. Actually, a couple of them had military backgrounds. But through the whole setup of this whole thing, okay, Rocky, you're going over here. He's sliding. I can't keep him there.
I told you he was moving.
No, what was that? Oh, through the whole setup after they abducted Abigail, and then they assigned one person to be her only point of contact. I'm like, okay, she's the only one that's gonna make it out of this alive. Everybody else is gonna die. Because she made this connection with her. That's what made me think that. But later we find out each of them did something in a manner that pissed off
made
this
them mad.
wealthy family. Yeah, so it's like, well, you're a target now. We've got to take you out. But yeah, no, and then I totally saw the whole like betrayal thing happened with the one detective guy or whatever. I did not see what he became coming. That's the part I didn't see coming. I knew he was going to turn on him. I just didn't know he was going to turn like that. Yeah. I'll say it that way. Because it's written all over his character's face. It's like, yeah, he's slimy. He's like this cop detective asshole.
Yep.
Wants to be Mr. Macho, but he's just a sleaze bag. He's the turncoat. He's the one that's going to betray everybody. Watch,
Yeah.
So, I mean, one by one, I'm calling it. I'm like, that's going to be the first one to go. That one's going to, something's going to happen to them. Or he's next. And immediately, like, so I'm watching this with my girls, and they're like, I thought you said you've never seen this movie before. I said, I've never seen this movie before, yes, but I've seen this type of movie before. I know what's going to happen.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it was a fun watch.
Yeah, I liked it.
But so here's some of the things that I found particularly interesting. And it's things that all have been in other vampire movies that we've even watched here. I just felt like it was awesome that they incorporated that and like sort of continued that. So
like, for example, what?
For example, how they could sort of like make them marionettes. And like puppets out of them, because I felt like they did that in the one vampire movie we just watched, the one that was on the boat.
Blood Vessel.
Blood Vessel.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting, and okay, that's cool. And oh man, I loved the deaths in this. I was so delighted when that stupid driver dude that
Got
was designated
exploded.
driver finally
He
died. I'm like, I
was
called it.
just-
I was like, oh yeah, he needs to die first. He needs
Yeah.
to die first. And
Yeah.
then I think it was Levi. It was in there. He's like, I think you're about to get your wish, dude, because we were having a watch party on Thursday night.
So,
And,
so that actor actually is dead now. He
Oh.
died in
Oh,
2023.
no.
Yeah.
Oh well, I didn't mean for him to die in real life,
Wow.
but
Yeah.
I guess he
He's-
went above and beyond.
In the end credits, it said in memory of whatever
That
the dude's
dude.
name is, and I'm like, well, which one is that? You know, so
I didn't
looked it
bother
up, I'm
looking
like, holy
that up.
crap! It was the asshole driver.
Yeah, I didn't bother looking it up. I was just like, yeah, okay, whatever. It seems like every
Somebody
time
died, whatever.
every time I go and look someone up, it is like the furthest thing from main cast, and it's like some token, 3D printer on the left team, and it's just like, wait, what?
No,
Okay,
no. This
sure,
was
whatever.
somebody that actually he had screen time. Yeah,
Right.
like
I didn't get that, but that's
Yeah.
unfortunate. Unfortunate. Sorry for
But
sorry
his-
for their loss, but
I get totally where you're coming from. His character was such a little dirt bag that
Oh.
yeah, it's like, oh God, kill him already, please.
I know. And we got so defensive when the one girl was like going through and profiling each person.
I love
And
that.
what is she doing up?
Still working on her phone.
Okay.
She's very
Well,
excited.
what was I saying?
Profiling when they went
Yeah, so
through.
she was going through and profiling everybody, and he's just like, "Hey, no, I'm the best in the GD business." Blah 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 blah. He's like, "I got smooth." It's just like, I just wanted to slap him, and she's like, "I didn't say you weren't good. I said you're not professional." And it's just like that, like knocked him down, deflated him completely. He's just like, and so then he just ran off and pouted in another room, and it's just like, okay. But yeah, he says, dude thought he was smooth. He paid for that one. One roll. Oops.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he was not a very likable character, so it was no great loss when he went. And I'm like, yeah. I could hardly understand what he was saying too.
I know.
The way they made him speak, like, dude, take the turd out of your mouth, then speak, okay?
Right. Absolutely. But I mean, so I was just absolutely delighted with every death. I thought they did that really well. And how they had, I thought it was really awesome that they had the light come through the window and it only burnt off her arm.
Oh,
she didn't immediately explode.
It exploded. It
popped. Right, but not her whole body.
But still, the point is, normally it's like as soon as they see daylight, they explode or turn into ash or something ridiculous like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I like that it just like blew up her arm, and then they showed it growing back immediately, and it's like, okay, that is cool. Yeah, and I loved how they had sharp teeth like 30 Days of Night.
Yes.
I loved that.
The thing about where they showed like the arm started growing back and the bone started extending, and I think it was my youngest saying something like, well, she said something like really bad CGI or whatever, and I stopped her. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
That was practical. That was a physical like arm that they recreated, and that wasn't CG. That part was not CG. There's CG, yes, but not that.
Yeah. And so I thought that was really well done, and so they still had their big explosive deaths, like they got around to killing them all in different ways, and I thought that was really fun. And yeah, so I forgot where I was taking that comment, but yeah. So I'm pleased with.
Well,
I was really
you-
impressed with the effects. I thought that was fun.
You'd mentioned only the parts exposed to sunlight
Yeah,
exploded. You mentioned their teeth. You were making comparisons with other movies that had similar things in it.
yeah. So I thought that was really fun. And they did have like their explosive moments, like from True Blood, when they're like, ah, and then they just explode everywhere, and blood and guts and
So I've
gore just
never seen True
splattered.
Blood.
Oh yeah, no, True Blood, they really, like, if they get staked in the heart, they explode and just over the top explode. If they get exposed to daylight, they explode, and it's just like it was like, yeah, that's a fun effect. I really enjoyed that. So that definitely tickled me. I thought that was so good. But most of all, the teeth. The
Yeah.
teeth were my favorite part of that. I would have to say, because I love 30 Days of Night, so I really enjoyed that bit.
I like how they incorporated talking about similarities with other vampire movie and lore and everything. I like how they incorporated that yes, you can still turn if you get bitten.
Yeah.
But they also, you showed an instance where, you're bitten and then you have to consume the blood of the one that bit you, and you can turn that way.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just like well, anybody bitten, yeah, sure, that's there, but then there's also another way. The only issue that I had with that was, so I guess the catalyst is you have to be bitten first, because there's situations where they got some of Abigail or somebody else's another vampire's blood, like either in their wounds or in their mouths through all these vampire poppings. I don't know what explosions. I don't know. So it's like, well, wait a minute, because that's getting into you. That's still getting into you. So I guess in a way, you would have to be bitten first, and then have it enter your body, whether it's, in your mouth or through an open cut or, whatever. But I do like how they did like both ways. Like,
yeah.
Right.
Well, and they showed an example of how you can bite them and they just become a puppet. That you can bite them and they just become a puppet, like the marionette type thing. But then if you consume their blood, which, this is straight from True Blood. If you consume their blood, then you turn. But there's one thing that they didn't do with the whole comparing to True Blood is, in True Blood they had to be buried. So I thought that was interesting for that aspect. But this one, they didn't have to.
No.
They just had to
immediate.
consume the blood. Right. Yeah.
Right. Well, the whole thing too with biting is just because you get bit or whatever by one, they can't just automatically control you. Even if you turn, they can't just automatically control you, because Abigail tells somebody, the thing about being a vampire and living for so long is you learn how to do all that cool shit.
Yeah.
So it doesn't just come naturally like the other one expected to happen.
Yeah.
So I laughed. I was like, that's great.
Yeah, I really thought that was fun. And
how awesome was that little girl in this role, though?
Have you seen her in Matilda?
She was like,
very good.
When she's dressed as the little ballerina in the beginning with her hair back, and she's very, girlish and all that kind of stuff. And then when they finally corner her and it's like, cut the shit. Yeah, what's really going on? She like, like her whole face changed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was almost like it was a different actress,
right,
stepping into that. Like there was a physical change in her face and the way she carried herself and everything. And then it was just like, oh shit, okay, this is not a little girl.
Yeah, I
It was
love
awesome.
that
Excellent.
because I mean, how much would that suck to be a little girl for all eternity?
Oh,
And that's like all you ever get seen as. But it's like when they called her out on it, she's just like, yep, all right. Yeah, I've been around for centuries. So what's up with that? It's just like, oh, oh boy, I'm a little out of my depth. Oh, and how she was playing them back and forth. Oh, I love that. I thought that was so good. Oh, how she's just like, oh, well, this person said they work for blah, 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 my dad. And it's just like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, you're the bad guy. And she's like, no, she's manipulating you guys.
Right.
It's like, that was awesome.
Playing
them like a fiddle.
Easy to do when you're scared and paranoid and
yeah,
you haven't had any rest. I mean,
right?
Yeah, you haven't eaten anything. I didn't see any bathroom breaks. So everybody had their brown pants on.
Yeah, I assumed there was bathroom breaks because they were throwing them back.
Oh yeah.
And and how she tasted the blood, could taste the alcohol in their blood. She's like, yeah, you drank too much. It was just like, oh,
that's funny.
Yeah, that's
that's great. Blood alcohol content. So,
right.
You know, my nose is itching.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you drank too much. It's just like you're expecting to be this big old thing and throw yourself. Nope, you drank too much. Oh boy.
Oh, and then when they were investigating the house and everything, and they all like split up, and then they showed that cage run that elevator. I'm like, nope, somebody's gonna end up in that cage. Either they're gonna put her in it, or they're gonna like try to seek safety inside of it. One or the other.
Yeah. And I knew it wasn't gonna work. It's just like it's not gonna work, but that's where they're gonna have to either escape through that way, or they'll be trapped in there, or like you said, she'll be put in there. So yeah, I get it. But
I mean, it was too good of a set piece not to think that we would see it again. And it was only shown for like maybe 3-4 seconds.
Like, every time it popped on. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be back here eventually. Watch.
Yeah.
So did you catch the references? Like, because this is obviously a killing ground.
Yeah.
They're brought here to be killed. It's just like cattle being herded to slaughter. And that's what this was. So did you notice I don't know, like the paintings and the artwork and stuff? It's just like, okay, that is like clearly the elder vampire there. And it's just like, bats flying around, all this stuff. And it's just like that. I thought that was so cool. I thought that was really cool piece to be added into. I wish they had actually focused more on that, and they had like called it and be like, oh, what the heck is this? What's going on here? Like, I wish they had called that out and focused on it, other than just hinting like with a lighter up against the wall. Like, I wish they had actually like turned on the lights and shown like, oh, I think that would have been so cool. But yeah. Well, Pumira, are you there? We're ready to rate.
Oh, what about the swimming pool?
I
mean, gag. Oh my god, that was terrible.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and she's screaming, and they're going, "Where are you? What do you see? It's a swimming pool full of bodies." And she was like in it. She was in the soup, and I'm going, "Oh my god!"
It was very ripe, I'm sure.
It was nasty.
Because we don't have smell-o-vision.
Yeah. So one thing that caught me was after the first death in the house, our driver gets and they left him there. When they come back, there's already flies and stuff on him, and I'm going, wait,
Why?
it's the middle of the night. Where'd the flies come from? That fast? Like, wait a minute.
Downstairs.
It totally made sense when they
Yeah.
showed that scene. I'm going, oh my God, how could they not smell that through the
Right.
whole house?
Yeah, I have no idea.
How was
I
it?
imagine they would have, but you have to think it was kind of far away and buried like in the back beyond.
Yeah,
So
I guess.
I guess I've never smelled a dead body like right there in our presence. So
Oh,
I'm guessing it would smell bad, but I know
Well, yeah.
the number
Yeah.
of bodies would definitely smell bad. And it's just like, oh,
I mean, and floating in water and decomposing
Yeah.
and that many. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's, trust me, it's a smell you will never forget if you ever smell it.
I hope I don't,
Uh,
but I don't know.
ugh.
There's always time.
Look, I'm
Oh.
still getting chills.
It looked like quicksand as she's falling in, and she's like, "Oh no, everyone's
And
deepest
it's
nightmare. It's quicksand."
yeah, like her mouth's all open. I'm like, stop
Oh.
screaming! Shut your mouth! What are you doing? Oh God! Oh.
It was like, "Oh no, it's the quicksand that everyone fears from their dreams." It's just like,
Okay. Rating. Let's move on.
rating. Let's
5 out of 5.
Myra's about to gag.
Nah, 5 out of 5.
okay, 5. You're going
Wow.
5, huh? All right.
That little girl was amazing.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah. I'm
Zombie,
not
what do you
going
say?
that high.
That's fine.
I'll go a little better than what I usually do to get out of the middle of the road here. I'll give it a 4. It was
Ooh.
better than I expected it to be.
Fair enough. I also give it a 4. I thought it was 4 to 4.5 because there was so much. I mean, I've just been talking about it for the last like 20 minutes. So the fact that it even elicits that kind of response for me is impressive, in my opinion. So
there are a lot of Easter eggs in this movie, even
Yeah.
down to the names that they are given to by what's his name, Esposito, something another, whatever his character was.
Esposito, yeah.
Even the names that he has picked out, and then he names the group the Rat Pack, and I'm going,
Right.
oh my God, like
Yeah.
I instantly, as soon as he said it, and it wasn't until later in the movie that one of the other characters like, oh, that's clever, I get it,
Right.
dumbass.
Yeah, so Pops gave it a 3.5. Says
Nice.
Yeah,
even
that's where I
floaters
would
stink.
normally be, on the scales, 3.5. But I'll give it a little bit better. It was good.
Yeah. Very good. Well, just before we get to the next movie, I just want to say we had so much fun with our friend Lori Calcaterra, and her Kickstarter is currently up and running. So please check it out. Give it a back if you can. And that's Path of the Pale Rider Kickstarter right here. So please do that if you're inclined and have the money and do it. Still show some support. So yeah. And if you haven't seen that interview yet, I know it was quite long. But it was fun. Go watch it.
Yeah. Go get you some cool comics with a great story.
Yep.
There's all kinds of extra swag there during the whole.
Goodness.
I mean, it's almost like a pick your prize kind of Kickstarter thing. There's so much good stuff, and Lori's so creative. She makes so many things. There's
so
even hot sauce
talented.
Like there's hot sauce, people. Go get the hot sauce.
I know. I want the hot sauce.
I mean, she's got like hidden tiers that you can do where there's going to be something really good, she said, that you'll get. It's a total surprise. It's a total limited edition type of thing. There's laser engraved wood covers and all kinds of stuff. I mean,
Absolutely
just
insane.
Go check it out. Trust
Yeah.
me.
And
Yeah.
Pop says, I have some hot sauce coming. Yeah, good.
Pops knows what it's all about. Pops
I
is
want
getting
some.
sauce.
I don't know if I'll get to back it, but because I don't know if we'll get paid before then, but I'm hoping it'll still be open and I'll be able to slide in with some sauce because I want that sauce. I'm upset that I missed out on the jackfruit. She had a jackfruit one that actually had the jackfruit she sliced and diced on the morning brew. So I thought that was a cool thing. But yeah, so go check it out. Watch the interview, check out the Kickstarter, and yeah.
I mean, she could make it again, and this one she could call the Impossibly Jack or something. Yeah.
Right. There you go. Okay, so there was madness sauce when she started doing that, but Chris has not made any more. It was the bomb. Okay. I'll have to take your word on it, but that sounds pretty good. I thought Lori, when we were talking to her, that what he made, he just sent to her and said, "This is yours now." But
that was the process. The process of the bottles and labels and
gotcha.
That's what she meant, I think, by that. Was like, here, it's your baby now. Do with it what you will.
Yeah, I thought that was the reason why Chris hasn't made it anymore. But like I said, I could be wrong.
So
and
he actually said Chris made them all. Then sent us the recipes.
Okay.
That's what it is. Okay. It's all coming together. Regardless.
Well, yeah.
Go to the Kickstarter, check it out. You'll see what we're talking about.
Yeah. It's definitely worth it. So moving right along, let's talk about Longlegs. Longlegs. I'm going to pull up a synopsis on this just so that way we can get it right from the get-go.
Oh, boy. I don't think there's anything that we're going to get right with this movie. I personally thought they did a great job with the autobiography of Nicolas Cage's life. I mean, right down to his role, it was just spot on.
Really? Really?
Look, I've confused him already.
I don't think so, but anyway. So I know
was
it is
until you said.
Okay, so in pursuit of a serial killer, an FBI agent uncovers a series of occult clues that she must solve to end his terrifying killing spree. And yes, I recognize that Nicolas Cage, he did. I thought he did a great job in this movie, first of all.
I mean,
that's a
what other role are they going to give him other than the crazy guy? So
I know. I don't know.
I'm sorry, Kamira. I stepped all over you. What did you say?
Oh, I don't remember now.
Oh, shut up, zombie.
Something about your autobiography about Nicolas Cage's life.
Oh yeah.
I was agreeing.
I mean, I'm sitting here going, I've read the synopsis. I didn't look at anything else, and then I let the movie play, and it started, and I felt like that one episode of Family Guy where Peter is sitting there trying to watch a movie, and it is just an intro, and he's like, "Oh, this is a nice movie. Oh, look, that's this," and then it's like this company name thing or whatever, and he goes, "Oh," and then something else starts, and he thinks it's the movie, and it's another company intro thing, and then he goes, "Oh," and then another one starts, and another one starts, and another one's. By the time the movie started, I thought it was another company intro thing. It's got like the letterbox all the way around it, and you see this White House and this little girl, and I'm waiting for the company name to show up, and then
No.
it just keeps going, and I'm going, is this the movie? Am I watching the right thing this time? Because let me
He
tell you,
watched the wrong thing the first time.
yeah, on Sunday, I'm sitting there, and okay, first of all, I did try to look it up on YouTube just to see maybe somebody dropped it on YouTube being sneaky or whatever, and it said Longlegs. I click on it.
Oh no.
Totally missed the intro, so I didn't see the
Oh.
title of the film. I was busy doing something else. Totally my fault. And this movie starts playing. And it's like this Halloween kind of thing. And there's a mom and a dad and the kid. And I'm going, is this the right movie? Where's the serial killer? Is like he going to be the serial killer? What's going on? Because I thought he was the serial killer. And
Nicolas Cage was also in this.
Yeah, and so Nicolas Cage was in it, so I thought I had the right movie, and I'm going, what the hell is this? So I'm engrossed. I'm involved in this movie at this point.
Hey, Grey Wolf.
So I finish it, and it's called Pay the Ghost, and I'm going, what the hell did I just watch?
Well, you still left the porn.
So yeah, I'm like, it's
probably would have been better.
Like it didn't have that. Like Nicolas Cage wasn't crazy in the sense of like our normal Nicolas Cage crazy. Yeah. Like he did slip a couple of times in this other movie called Pay the Ghost, but it was because his kid went missing. So I'm like, yeah, I would go nuts too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I totally watched the wrong movie. Although it was a Nicolas Cage movie. So this time I'm like, okay, where's the company name? Where's the company name? Where's the company name? And then all of a sudden this guy starts talking to this little girl, but he's all cut off like this.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, I'm sorry. I've got my long legs on. And it goes down like this and it cuts off. And I'm going, oh my God, that was Nicolas Cage. This is the movie. So it was kind of a weird intro. I'm like, is this the right one? Is it not the right one? I don't know. And It was the right one.
Interesting movie.
All right, let's talk. What are your thoughts?
Bizarre.
Around the table.
Definitely bizarre.
Yeah.
How can you put a... Go ahead.
No. I'm just, okay. So the whole thing is, there's a serial killer. Okay. And like, what was it? FBI is involved in trying to figure out how the murders are happening because it's really weird. Like there's a family and then, one of the family members, usually the dad, goes nuts, kills everybody, then kills himself.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a serial killer taking credit for it, but there's no sign of forced entry or there's no evidence of another person in the house. They can't figure out how he's getting in and out to do it, and everything suggests it's murder-suicides other than the notes that the serial killer is leaving behind.
Yeah, so here's the thing. It was separated into several parts.
Yes.
So the first part was the letters, and that's where they talk about the letters that he leaves and is somehow taking credit for these killings and whatnot. And then the next part is a different part. I forget what the second one was. I think it was mainly just about like her investigation. And then the third part was the finale. But
yeah, so the protagonist that we're introduced to is a young woman, a young FBI agent, and she's sort of kind of psychic, like an empath kind of way.
Yeah.
Like she sees things and knows things or whatever, but she can't really explain how she knows those things.
Yeah.
And usually whoever her partner's with just kind of shrugs it off like, whatever. How could you possibly know this type of stuff?
Right.
Like,
do you really want to call this in and ask for backup on our first, pull up to the investigation? Like, do you really want to do that?
Right. Because they do. They send her out with this, other young guy, and they're going knocking door to door with like a mugshot or something, a picture or something, asking, "Have you seen this person?" or something like that. And like she doesn't want anything to do with it. She's like sitting in the car. She's like, I'm not having any of this. So the young guy is like, well, I'll go, door knocking, whatever. Sit this one out. So he goes up to a house or whatever, and like you can see like this wave washes over her sitting in the car, and she gets out and she's like looking at this one house,
Mm-hmm.
and she's fixated on it, and there's nothing, there's nothing telling about this house. It looks like just a normal house. She's staring at it, and then her partner comes back up, and all she says is, "He's in there. Who we're looking for is in there." And that's when he gives her a little bit of a hard time, and he's like, "You really want to call backup on our first outing?" And and I bet he wishes they would have, because he didn't make it past the entryway to the house.
Kaboom!
Yeah. So it wasn't our character Longlegs that was in the house, but rather someone that was under, I guess, his influence, we could say. Yeah. So, and that was kind of weird how they set that up, because as the movie keeps going, there's all these layers that get added onto.
Yeah.
Like, they end up finding all these little breadcrumbs that Longlegs has left behind and everything, and she slowly starts to piece together, and like he's following her because he like pops up where she's staying at or whatever, and she like leaves the house because she saw something out in the woods, and she turns around and she sees somebody in her house like walking away, so she goes back in, and there's another letter in there. That's pretty much a key on how she deciphered what all the symbols meant from all the letters.
It's in the Bible.
Right, yeah. So that was a really like odd scene. And the thing that she keeps seeing is this, it looks like the silhouette of a horned figure.
Yeah.
Like it keeps popping up. So then, the whole Bible thing gets like, okay, this is kind of like a devil kind of thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really odd how they built the story to flow the way that it did. Because like you said, it was done in parts. It was like a part 1, a part 2, a part 3, a finale, that sort of thing. I'm curious to hear what y'all think about how his character was portrayed, like his habits and stuff like that. Like, what do y'all think?
Kamara, you want to go?
Sure. He was possessed. Peekaboo and all that he did with the girl in the hardware store. He's weird.
Yeah. And she wasn't having none of it. She was just like, Dad. The weird guy's back.
The gross guy is here again.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, because he was all like, when is your birthday?
What, is he going to make a doll for her too?
Like, he just looked physically slimy, just disgusting.
His house didn't look any better.
No.
No, Nicolas Cage did a really great job with that. Since it was him, in his biography.
Dustin, what do you think?
So I thought it was very intriguing. I thought how they told the story was necessary. I don't think they could have told the story another way without it just like over explaining. And there was a little bit of an info dump there at the very end. I felt like they're rushing things to try to like hurry up, and they boom, boom, boom with the one person who is helping, so to speak. So I felt like there was a little bit of an info dump there, just a tiny bit, but I thought it was well done overall for the most part. and it got really creepy, like how they were making these dolls to represent these girls, and then giving them as a present, like, hey, here's a gift from the church or whatever. And then it's actually like a portal for like the demonic occult type entity. Like it was like somehow giving it off, like it would influence them in ways that were like outrageous, like to take someone who is not homicidal, not suicidal, nothing, and just make them get up and take his wife in the kitchen and, you know, slash the crap out of her. That is outrageous. Like and then I thought it was really kind of weird and creepy, like how they kept, you know, talking about the man in the basement, you know. It's just like, I thought that was interesting way to describe what ultimately was Satan in essence. And so I thought it was really interesting in a twisted sort of way.
Yeah, the whole doll thing really was
freaky.
Because it had like this brain
sphere.
Yeah, a sphere that that the coroner called a brain inside their head. And it's like when you touched it, it rang and like resonated, like it in our main protagonist's head, like she saw it and it started ringing, you know, in her head. And it's like, oh, so she was like, wait a minute, you could tell like there's something to that. And I don't know.
Didn't it bring back memories?
Yeah, I feel like it did.
The way I took it was inside this sphere. Whenever they would scan it, it showed there was nothing in it. It was just hollow. Right. But later on, we find out there is something in it. But the way that I took the whole thing with her coming across that other orb in that other doll, which later we find out there was a doll made of our protagonist when she was a little girl. Yeah. I think that kind of had that effect on somebody that may come in contact with another that was like them, that had a doll representation made of them as kind of like a signal of, I don't want to be, I'm going to stay away from that area, because then that would interrupt with whatever plans they were trying to get away with doing or whatever. So that caused her, great discomfort or whatever, all the ringing and stuff in her ears. Right. Because we see in our protagonist doll, when its head gets destroyed and that ball with it, that brain, like that black mist kind of, it evaporates out of her head. Yeah, leaving out of her head. So with hers being destroyed, it didn't affect her again later in the end when she tried to save the other family.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a weird little,
the whole doll thing is extremely weird.
Yeah.
And the one other lead detective on the case, the agent, he was like, he's not a witch doctor. He's just this serial killer who doesn't have help, who's going in there and all this stuff. And somehow he's getting in without any. What's funny?
I'm just sitting here thinking, it's like, yeah, that's exactly kind of it.
Somehow he's getting in there without anything. Anyway, but I don't know. So I felt like he did have an accomplice.
Yeah, the lady from the church.
Yeah. Right.
Her mom.
Yeah, well, I mean, we do find that out, yes. Yeah. But, like there's unknowns that the FBI don't know about, that we, as an audience following along, we kind of piece together and figure out. And then
Right.
before it's revealed to everybody, it's like, oh, that's how it kind of all fits together.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all around overall, this one's out there. It's a weird watch. I don't know how y'all are gonna rate it. I know how I feel about it, but oh, this
All
one
right,
kind
let's
of
get
takes
into it.
that. It kind of takes that Nicolas Cage weird to the next level. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, I mean, it felt very much like an homage to, well, not an homage, but it felt like he was drawing on some of his time in Mandy. Because I mean, I'm breaking it way far down, like just in how he acts. It felt like he was almost like a Mandy type performance where it was almost that same level, in my opinion, anyway. All right, so what do you guys say? Let's start with Pumira. What do you think? How would you rate it?
4.
Really? A 4? Wow. You are much more generous than I am. I gotta go 2.5.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was strange, but not like it wasn't a stinker, but like I probably won't watch it again.
Mm.
But I mean,
See,
it had
I
its
want to watch
moments.
it again.
Yeah, once is enough for me.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's things that I might understand a little bit better by watching it a second time. So I also would probably want to watch it again at some point in time. It's one that I definitely wouldn't say no to rewatching. So I would also probably give this pretty high rating. I would say probably 4 or 3.5 at least. Like, I thought it was very good, especially on Nicolas Cage's acting. And I know a bunch of people online have been talking about it. So
Right.
It's a weird one, though.
It is weird,
Yeah.
but
I like
it's
weird.
one of those things that I'm not gonna say like I'm big into the occult type thing, but it intrigues me in a way that, okay, that's also not good to say.
Mom.
We are live.
I'm just thinking my mom is watching this thinking like, oh boy.
It's not like we're all, "Hail Satan!"
Right. No.
That's not us.
That's not what I'm trying to say.
I'm wearing the shirt ironically, okay? That's not.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just something that is interesting enough, like, to watch again, just to see what I missed, just to see if I can pick up anything else from it. But so yeah, like I said, I give it a 3.5, 4 stars. I really enjoyed both of these movies this week. And I mean, I'm speechless in the sense of in talking about Longlegs. Like, it's not that I'm like I don't have the words for it. Well, it is like I don't have the words for it, but
speechless. That's what speechless means.
Right. So it's not like there's nothing. My mind is thinking, like, going through the movie again and again and again, like thinking of what things did I miss, like in my head, like. So my mind is racing as I'm thinking about this movie, but I'm also kind of speechless, and that's what's happening in my head. That's what I'm trying to explain. Let's see.
They did some work on his look. I'll give him that. Like, he's just he's gross looking
Yeah,
and unsettling.
exactly.
It is hard to put a finger on how to describe how they made his character look. Like,
Right. And
just
it almost felt like it was, and I haven't looked into this, but it almost felt like it was a almost a documentary
Autobiography.
type thing.
now see, that's what I said in the beginning.
I know. That's why I had to say it.
And no, I'm just talking about how it flipped from Nicolas Cage being on the monitor to it looked like a different person was on the monitor, and then it flipped to him actually in person. You know what I'm saying?
No. I don't get how
It's like they took archival footage of some serial killer and had it playing as he's going through and talking about he's like singing the happy birthday to what's her face, the main character. And then it cuts from that to him in person in the cell, and he doesn't look the same as what he did there.
Mm.
And so it's weird. I'm saying just that one scene where he's singing happy birthday and he looks really gross and nasty, and he flips to him in person and it looks like, okay, this time this is Nicolas Cage. And you can tell it's Nicolas Cage, but it's like, it just felt like this is evidence, like from archival evidence, and then this is the
real thing.
reenactment. It just felt like that, one of those weird scenes, and I'm like, I know this wasn't a biography. I know this wasn't like, but it feels like that.
That's why you made the face when I said that in the beginning.
I don't know.
Okay, that was not rehearsed, by the way. That was something funny that I was just gonna say before we started talking about the movie, saying Nicolas Cage is a psychopath, and no, really, that was not planned.
Right.
Was it me, or is in some scenes where they showed him, like, was his nose more upturned?
Yeah,
and
it's like
some scenes it was like normal. It was weird, the prosthetic work that they did on him.
Yeah,
he
it's
had
like
a bad makeup day.
Well, I wouldn't say it was bad makeup. I feel like it was on purpose.
Maybe. I don't know. That to me is what made it kind of
Nicolas
weird
Cage,
with
if you're out
his
there.
look. You know, it was almost like it was constantly changing, like you said. Like in some of the footage, he did look very different than what he did in other scenes.
Right.
So I don't know.
Stunt double.
Well, I don't know if it was a stunt double. It could have been, but it felt very weird, and I think it was on purpose that they did that to be unsettling, to where you feel like you have a sense of what he looks like, but then it's jarring because the next scene they show him, there's something different on his face, and you're like, wait a minute. It's like elusive in the fact that it's like Satan was messing with his appearance, you know? So where you couldn't actually get a bead on him in real life. Like, you couldn't just randomly show a photo and be like, oh yeah, that's the guy, you know? Because he would look a little bit different. Anyway, I digress.
In some scenes, he'd be really, really sweaty, and in others, he's bone dry. It's
right.
You know, his hair would be real oily in one scene, and then in the next scene, it's like freshly washed and brushed out, and it was strange. I don't know. I'm glad I'm not the only one that noticed it, though, because I'm going, I can't. Like, I know it's the same character. I know it's Nicolas Cage, but why does he look so different in every scene?
Like I said, I feel like that was done on purpose, for the sake of the character, just to make him more elusive.
Interesting.
But those are things that I am just weird about.
Yeah.
So Road Pig John says nothing like Con Air movie or Face Off from Nicolas Cage, guys. Yeah, right.
I don't know. The Face Off is kind of where I first noticed that crazy look in Nicolas Cage's eyes. I was like, oh, there's something behind there. Oh, wait
Yeah,
a minute.
I'm thinking,
Have I seen it?
what?
Have I even seen it?
I believe
Yeah.
so.
So in Face Off, his character is supposed to be like the straight laced cop and all that kind of stuff, and then he switches places with like the mob
John
boss
Travolta.
criminal, whatever. Yeah, John Travolta's character. So then John Travolta takes his face, but his face on it goes after his family. That's where I saw the crazy come out in Nicolas Cage, I think, for the first time. Like it stuck out to me because he got that wild eye in his look, and he's got his head cocked, and so
Hey,
like,
Flip City.
he's like,
Thanks for tuning in.
yeah, so it's that was, I think, for me, like the first time I like saw it and paid attention. I'm like, okay.
For me,
This
I think
guy's
it
on
was.
edge.
I think it was even. I think it was not Con Air, but it was. It wasn't. It was. Oh, what's the one when they're The Rock, when they're on like storming Alcatraz, as he's waving those nuclear beads around, and he's just like, "Rah!" It's just like that was like, holy crap, like he's crazy. So that's what I thought was, but so that's where my initial reaction to him. But over the years, it's just been, in Nicolas Cage. Yeah, sure, it's a Nicolas Cage movie. It'll be good or it'll be bad, epically bad. One or the other. It's never just middle of the road. But I don't know. I really took notice to him in Mandy. I felt like that was like he really shined.
I do have to say I probably did enjoy Pay the Ghost better than I did Longlegs. Just putting that out there. I mean, I didn't even know that movie existed until I fucked up and watched the wrong thing.
Do you want to watch that this week?
No, not really.
Excuse me.
You can look it up by all means, but I don't want to watch that one again either.
Pop says we need to check out that Dirty Black Bag on Netflix.
Okay.
That Dirty Black Bag.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh wow, this has Travis Fimmel in it. Wow.
Which kind of brings us to the segment of what are we going to pick for next week?
Oh no way!
Right.
And it has Aidan Gillen in it. Interesting. Okay, so there's something out there, like it's a Western. It's a gruesome Western. You guys up for a gruesome Western? How about
we got to pick something?
How about we do? Let me see where this is available again. So I'm seeing Prime, Philo.
Oh wait, he's saying it is a series.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So it's not a movie.
Well, that sucks the wind out of my sails.
We can add it to our list.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, stick it under what you're watching.
Yeah. So there's a movie called Smile 2.
Yes.
He just says you need to check it out. Laughing out loud.
Yeah. Will do. What did you say, Pumara?
Yes.
Yes to what?
Smile 2.
Oh. I wasn't sure what you were talking about, what you were
Hey,
saying
it's
yes to.
Smile 1. What is this? I don't know what that
Have
is.
you not seen Smile?
No.
Oh.
Hmm.
Let's do 1 and 2.
It's interesting. I don't know. Let's check where it's at. IMDb.com.
Yeah, remember, I don't have access to everything.
Well, neither do we anymore.
Yeah. That's why I surf Tubi.
I just
It's
typed
free.
in smile.com. Oh boy.
Oh, I don't even want to know.
Let's see. Smile.
I mean, I'm sitting here like a dummy. I could look it up too. Smile. Nope.
You know, Smile's available on Hulu.
Smile, not slime. Whew, that dyslexia kicking in.
Is everyone alive? Kumara?
Is everyone
Yeah,
alive?
the phone
Oh.
just fell. Riley's phone. All right, let's go to bed. Go.
Oh
go.
boy.
Okay, so yeah, Smile. So tell me, what is this movie about? I don't know.
Okay, so it's weird. It's like after they see something, usually it's they see someone smiling really big, then they turn into like this weird like psychotic break type thing. And all it takes is them to see someone smiling. It's really bizarre. At least that's how, I haven't seen the second one. So yeah,
the second one says it's streaming on Sling TV, MGM Plus, Paramount Plus, YouTube, Prime Video, and YouTube subscription. Philo, Fandango, Apple TV, Google Play Movies, and TV. So Sling's the only thing for free, but Sling is one of those where it's like network television. You have to catch it when it's on.
Yeah.
Like it's not an on-demand thing.
Yeah.
They're coming down to you.
Okay.
I mean,
do
you have any of those? I mean, I don't know what you have and what you don't.
I mean, I do.
So, well, let me ask it this way. Do you have access to watch the second one?
Yeah, I think so. I think it said it was on.
Then that's all. That's.
Yeah.
Do not elaborate. I get you.
Okay, I feel better.
No, I mean, I think it's available to watch on Prime.
We can do those if you want.
Good night.
Yes, yeah, it's available on Prime, which I believe we still have.
Yes, we do.
So, yeah, and I guess Madness can watch Hulu 1 as a watch party for that. So, yeah. So, Smile 1 and 2.
Yay!
There we go.
That makes Pumara happy.
Everybody's smiling.
So I mean, we aren't going with the traditional like Valentine's Day movies, but everyone needs a smile at Valentine's Day.
That's right.
However,
Hey.
if you do want to do, the horror movie theme Valentine's, there are, a few out there. My favorite one is My Bloody Valentine. Now you've got the original that was 1981. That one is available for free to watch on Pluto. So if you have Pluto, you can stream it on there. The second one that is more like a reboot. Came out in 2009, and that one is available on Tubi. So you can, watch both of those. Both great watches. It's the same story, but they're different enough that they stand on their own.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I recommend watching those if you're in a holiday type of mood and you want something scary or whatever to watch. I like both of them.
Yeah. And I mean, like, the only reason I didn't really go for that is because I feel like we did watch those already.
So
which we did in the past, but I feel like I've watched it through you. So, okay, I get it.
Any description that I gave of that first one, the first go round when we watched the one from 2009, I didn't even scratch the surface. There's if you're a child of the 80s like I am, you will see you'll pick out all these little things, like when all the town, teenagers are partying, young adults are partying or whatever, and they're drinking. They have the pull tabs on the cans, not like what we have today. It's an actual pull tab. You to pull the whole thing off, and it was like
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, there was like a tear-shaped hole in the can. I bet Pops knows.
I know it. It had like silver tape.
Yeah, it was like a silver tape kind of piece, and it had a little lip on it, and you grabbed it.
A pull tab. Yeah.
The opening was like a tear shape cutout in the top of the can or whatever. And the cans were like tin cans. They weren't aluminum at that time, so they were a different material even. But there's little things like that from the 80s, not to mention all the cars, the vehicles and stuff that you see everybody driving around and all that kind of stuff, and the style of the laundromats and that type of shit. So that is in the 1981 original. So treat yourself this Valentine's Day. Go watch My Bloody Valentine 1981, and then go watch 2009. So,
there you go.
There you go. Go watch them. I know I enjoyed the 2009, whatever you said it was, when we watched that last year. So
yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, you have your assignment. You can either watch My Bloody Valentine, both or one or the other, or you can watch Smile 1 and 2.
And we're not really going to talk about the My Bloody Valentine next week, so it's not like we've got 4 movies to watch. That's just
if you feel like it,
mission you can do.
Like if you don't have Smile 1 or 2 available to watch the My Bloody Valentine, because they are readily available. But
for free.
Yeah, so let me do this here real quick. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot to mention this. It's going to be our 200th episode next week. We are on track to have the 200th episode be next week on the 14th. Which there's some possibilities. The schedule might change. So it might fall on the 13th or something like that, because due to Zombie's schedule and things he has going on in his life, that's just the way it is. And obviously we want him to be here, so we're going to make sure he's here for it, and we'll schedule to make sure that happens. But yeah, 200 episodes.
Maybe we'll have some special guests join us. You never know.
Possibly.
You never know.
I also just wanted to point out we have these. So I gave my mom one of these, and she's just like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "That's our new logo." And she's like, "Oh, that's cool." I didn't know you had a new logo. It's like, yeah, we do.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
Right.
And
We've got some new stuff coming to help dress it up and make it look pretty around here.
yeah,
We are.
Maybe
There's,
some merch.
yeah, I do have the stickers at least plugged into the merch store existing. If you feel like checking it out, it's all in here on our link tree. Let's see, what's the other thing? Where is it? Okay, so we're going to be back Monday. Just a little teaser image for you. That's what it's freaking
Knight
figures.
Rider. Huh?
And we're going to be talking about that kind of stuff on Monday and just talking some toys. Next week, also, on our 200th episode, we'll be choosing movies because the following week, I know I'm getting too far ahead. The following week, we're going to have another special guest on our show, and that's Lori Calcaterra. She's going to be joining us on a Friday episode to talk about movies and things like that. And
Cool.
we'll get her in on this fun action as far as talking and reviewing movies goes, and we'll talk about her comic and whatnot too. So
we'll talk about her Kickstarter. See, we had her on the show Monday to talk about her Kickstarter. So if you still don't know anything about that, go check it out. Path of the Pale Rider on Kickstarter. So go learn about that, so you'll know what we'll talk about whenever she comes back on a Friday show this time.
Yep.
See what we did there?
Yeah, exactly.
And Pops is saying, is he a special? Is he a special? Well, Pops, you are special. You're special to us. Of course we want you on, man.
Is it a master or a thunder nerd?
I don't know what that's referring. Is it the sticker? Because I know the next one he says, yeah, get me something to stick on a cup. So yeah absolutely.
You have to send me your address, Pops, and I'll send you one of the ones I got. We're
working on a few things, so we'll put a care package together.
Yeah.
There you go.
And here's the Kickstarter if you want to copy and paste that. And
thank you.
All that. And Smile 1 and 2 for next week on our 200th episode. See how obnoxious I can be? I can be loud and obnoxious.
Can we bring drinks?
But anyway.
Can we bring what? What did you say?
Drinks.
What did drink?
Celebrate.
I mean, I can't stop you.
Right.
Go. Huh?
Let's see. And okay, we can put anything you want in the store. Cause is cool like that. Oh, okay. I didn't realize you had a store for all of us, but I have our own store. So, but
we'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah.
All right. So until next week, or until Monday, whenever you join us again.
One of these days. We don't.
I know I'm terrible, but
come back and sit with us and chat with some toy talk on this coming Monday night.
There you go.
There you go. Until then, Thunder Nerds ho!
Click on the tube and feel the vibe. Every show you crave right here live. Heroes and villains clash in the night. Madness Comic Network sets it right. Scroll through the list, find what you need. Epic battles and fast-paced speed. From capes to cosmic space delight. Tune in and watch your favorites ignite. On Facebook, share the thrill so grand. On X, the buzz across the land. Madness Comic Network all around. In every joy is found. New uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends catch every twist and every turn. Madness comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness comic brightens days. Hey! New uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends catch every twist and every turn. Madness comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun,